Hello and welcome back to Life Hack, another great opportunity to share information with you. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of getting, not really the process or how you could travel to Canada, like everything that you need to know. I wouldn't say everything because information is not, I can give you every information, but most of the information that you need to know. So stay tuned to the end of this video. I will do my best to go through as quick as possible so that it doesn't take much of your time. So, like every country in the world, before you could travel to that country, you need to acquire a visa. A visa. And then if you don't acquire a visa and then you find your way into that country, then like you don't have a visa, you enter the country, then you need to seek asylum as like refugee, something like that. So like the general rule is to get a visa into every country. So even if somebody is coming to Ghana, the person have to apply for a visa. And then there are rules and regulation that you need to follow. So that is the first thing that you need to put in mind. Now there are pathways that every country have. So like Canada too, they have pathway that you can use to apply for the visa. So what you need to do first is look out for the various pathway and then check yourself and see which one will benefit you or which one will be easy for you to use. So the pathway, basically, that is what I'm going to walk you through. And then you should know that there are consultants too that can help you throughout your process from start to finish. There are consultants. I don't call them agents, I call them consultants because they have gone to, like, they have studied the immigration law of Canada, they have been examined, they've passed their exam, they are satisfied. The government check them, regret them, and see that they are doing the right thing. So they are called immigration consultants. And then um if they do anything for you which like it is fraudulent or something like that, you could report them and they could be traced, and then yeah, they'll get in trouble. You could get your money back. That is different from agents. So be careful if you are choosing somebody to help you with your immigration process. And then what I'm doing, I'm not a consultant, I'm not an agent. I'm only a person who have read and then giving you information. So what I'm doing is just giving you information. So everything that I say, you have to cross-check it and then get to know whatever you need to know. And then if you need like a professional advice, then you have to check the immigration lawyers or immigration consultant. You could book appointment with them maybe for 30 minutes. Some could charge maybe $30, $50, and then you can ask them your question. They are all available everywhere. Some Ghanaians are doing that job too. So you can look out for them and they can help you very well. So now the pathway, visits. One is visit. So one could come to Canada through visit. And then the visit is in two parts. Coming as a tourist or somebody inviting you to visit. So if somebody is inviting you to visit, then the person have to prove the invitation. And then they have to check you too and know that everything is in touch. And then they will give you that visa if you meet all the requirements. And then coming for a tourist, if you're coming as a tourist, you don't need anybody to guarantee you or send you an invitation letter. You just apply your visa straight away. But all of them, it depends on like the document that they will ask, proves that they will ask. There are a lot that entails in that. So you can look at that route if you have your money. So if you look at our actors and actresses, they are able to travel freely all over the world. Is because they apply their visa as tourists. And if they check them, they know that, well, they are doing something back home. They can't leave that job there and then go and stay somewhere. And then they have money in their account. They have people that, so that is easy for them to get. That's easy for them. But if you don't have any job, you don't have family, like even if you have a job and then your job is like something that is not that strong, you don't have enough money, you don't have any family, then tourist is likely you'll be denied. You'll be denied. And then if it is visits too, is the same thing that they look at. One way that a visit could, like if somebody invites you, could be like somebody here invites you to come to Canada. So they have to check, why is he inviting you? And then if they like visit, it's hard. It's hard because the questions that will be asked and then the investigation that they will do is not likely you will get it. So if you have money, if you have job, if you have ties in your home country, tourist will be the best option for the visitor's visa. Instead of somebody saying, I need you. One easy way that they could deny you if somebody send you an invitation is if you don't have very, very strong ties, like somebody, like if you're politicians, they know that if you come for invitation, you go back. But let's say you are just a school teacher. They know that if somebody is inviting you to Canada, it's likely that the person is going to convince you to stay. So it's likely they will not give you that visa. So that is one. And then the next one is students. Applying as student. That is what I encourage most of the youth to do, because I personally see that that is the easiest and then cheapest and simplest way. Because if you apply to the school and then you are admitted, then you apply for your student visa. That one too, you have proofs, a lot of proof that you go through. You do medicals, they check your funds, but that is not difficult. That is something that you can work around it. That is not difficult, but you should be very careful. Canada immigration, they investigate a lot. They investigate a lot, so you should be careful. Everything that you are doing, let it be genuine. Let it be genuine. Or if even you think it's not all that genuine, let it be something that you can prove. You can prove. If you need funds to prove for your education, you could ask family members, you could ask friends to give you the funds. You could do that. Or you could ask them to be part of your sponsors percentage. If you get 3 people, you share it among them. You show their bank statement, their work, and then they know that you have somebody. And then if you get the student visa, like your family is also able to join you. And then anytime you are coming here, like you are the applicant, and then your family want to join, or you are bringing your family, your spouse automatically could join you. But your children, they should be below age 22, like 21, 0 to 1 to 21, or like let me say 0 to 21 years. Yes, that is when they. So if they are above 21, then you can't add them as dependents to bring them. And also, if even they are below 21, let's say they are 17, they are 18, let's say 18, 19, and they are married, then they are no more dependent. You cannot bring them. So that is something that you also need to take note. The next one is work. Coming here as a worker. Yeah, that one is a little bit difficult, but not that difficult. So coming here as a worker, you cannot apply to the immigration office that I want to come to Canada and work. No, it doesn't work that way. Automatically you'll be rejected. What you have to look for is you look for job first. And then if you look for job and then you get that job, then you apply for the immigration. And then it's not just getting the job. We have a document called LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. Like every country, they encourage the employers to employ citizens, permanent residents first before they move on to other foreign nationals to employ. So what will happen is if your employer is employing you, then your employer have to prove to the Canadian government that they have looked everywhere in Canada and they've not found anybody to do the job that they need somebody to do. That is why they want to employ somebody outside Canada. So that department, the labor department, will investigate their case and find out, well, is it true that everybody, like they've checked, and then so what they would need to prove is they will, where did you advertise it? They give them about, I think, 3 months or so to advertise it. So they have to bring proof that they've advertised it in newspapers, on online, at their workplace, the community. So they bring all that proof for about 3 months, and nobody is applying for the job. And even if somebody is applying for the job, those applying for the job do not meet the requirements that they need. They have to show all those proof, but they have somebody who meet all the requirements and even exceeded. So if they see, um, if what they sent makes sense, then they give them that document, labor market impact assessment document. And that document is what you add in your application. And then some of this type of visa, you could get them within 2 weeks. Some of them you could get them within 2 weeks. Some of them could take some number of time. And then there are some too that they exempt them from the LMIA. Those are like those in the rural areas, and then some jobs they exempt them. And even with that one, if they exempt them, they still need to request for some document, that is employer number, from the labor office, that they have to give it to you to apply for the work permit. So if you are looking for to come and work, then you have to first of all look for the job, and then you have to make sure your employer is giving you the LMIA document or the LMIA exempt document. And then you'll be able to apply for the job, and then they will do all the necessary check that they need to do, and then you'll be able to get it. And then another way to is through the permanent resident. You apply as a permanent resident through express entry, which is a point base. It's just like the similar to the American lottery, but they don't I don't know how the American does it. I think the American just draw it as lottery, but this one is based on your score. It's based on your score, and then they invite you, and then you could apply as permanent resident. So if you through the express entry, you get invitation, then you apply for a permanent resident, like automatically they're going to give you like work permit that you could come to the country and then start working until your permanent residency is processed. The same as provincial nominee program. It's just like the express entry, like I would say a branch of it. And then we have the northern and rural immigration pilot. That one too is also another pathway that you can look at, just like the express entry point base. They look at everything that you have, and then they invite you. They invite you. And then we have the family sponsorship. The family sponsorship. The family sponsorship, if you have a close relative who want to bring you to Canada, But that one too, they do a lot of investigation on that. Is he really close relative? Why do you want to bring him? And all those that, and then like your spouse, your parents, your grandparents, you can sponsor them through that route. And then if you have money to come and start a business here in Canada, there's that option too. So you can think of the amount that you have that then you could apply to the immigration office that yes, I have money. I want to come to Canada and set up a business. And then they will give you that permission. Then you come to Canada and set up that business. Or you want to come to Canada as self-employed. So it's the same as the set. It's similar to the setup of business. So you're coming here as self-employed. So let's say you are a seamstress, you're a hairdresser. You want to come and live in Canada, you are coming to employ yourself. So you should imagine how they would demand from you. You have to show a lot. Have to show a lot. So there are many other pathway, but for the sake of those in Africa and then some few other countries, I think this pathway are those that are best for you. You see, for the agric, the um what about that? There are some that like Africans don't qualify for that. I've forgotten their names. So these are the pathway that you can look up to. Can look up to. And then one thing you should also note is just be vigilant if you are doing this application. You know, every application that you do, make sure you know what you are doing. If you are not hiring immigration consultant to do it for you, then if you are doing it yourself or somebody call himself an agent who is not a consultant helping you to do it, make sure you have access to that application on their portal so that you'll be able to know everything that goes on that application. Your biometric is a must. Everybody who comes to Canada, with the exception of minors, you have to do a biometric. So if you're in your house and somebody says, I'll be able to give you a Canadian visa, you don't have to go to the embassy. Yes, Canada, most of their visas, you don't have to go to the embassy, but you have to do the biometric. You have to go to their center to do the biometric. They'll send you a form that you take to do the biometric. So if you have not done any biometric and somebody tells you I'm giving you a visa, then you should know that it's a lie. You can't give you any visa. I'm going to print something and take your money. So that is what you should take note of. So I think I'll end this one here. I know I just rushed through. You may have a lot of question about this. And then one thing that you should know is your education too. Check your education. At least, at least have senior high school. At least have senior high school to check if it's not somebody who is sponsoring you. And then you are coming yourself through any of this route. At least senior high school. So that is it. Thank you for being with me throughout this information. I know you may have a lot of questions. Do not hesitate to put it in the comment section. Let me have your question. I'll do my best to help you. Consultants are all over. You can contact any of them to help you. You could go to the immigration website to read a lot about whatever that I'm saying. And then I'm ready to also give you every information that I know. Scammers are all over, so be vigilant anytime you are into the process of moving abroad, your documentation and everything. Thank you. See you next time. Bye. Oh yeah, so somebody just sent me some messages. Let me quickly talk on. I said bye, but let me quickly talk on this. Like he's talking of um if Like somebody is here and want to marry you. Yes, if it is a true marriage, yes. You married before you moved to Canada, then you can apply for your spouse to join you. But you are in Canada, you want to marry somebody outside Canada, you have to go to you have to go back home and marry, get all the documents before you can sit here and then do paper marriage, and then that normally you'll be denied. You've been denied. It will be very difficult to prove. So you have to go down there. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, somebody could come and marry you and bring you to Canada, but the person have to come down there. But all this one, they will investigate everything. So just be careful. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, share for others. If all that I'm doing is very important to you and you know it's going to help, share, like, so that YouTube will spread it for all those who need to know it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.